Welcome everybody. We're going to talk about how to build million-dollar brands using the TECH-WIZ playbook. I'm going to give away my complete workflow, and this is also a big overview for everybody that's going to join the community, what you can expect. All learning is state dependent. What I want to start with is like what I've done in my life. It's from being an Afghan refugee to a medical student. It's learn, and learning is like the superpower you can have. Like, I'm a big learner, I love to learn, and all the learning that you will ever do in your life is going to be state dependent. You can imagine that when you're sick, you're not going to do as well as when you're distracted. So a few things I want to ask you is kind of be prepared and take a moment to settle in and to welcome yourself into the webinar, because you want to learn something. You came here, you showed up, you want to learn something, and learning you will definitely do. So there's a few things. How to get yourself in a good state. Ask yourself, why am I here? What do I want to do, right? Find yourself a notebook, something, pen and paper. You can even open a Google Docs or your phone notes, but the phone is a big distraction. So if you don't have Notion, pen and paper, it's the best thing to stick to. Another thing, hydrate. We're going to sit down for an hour, 1.5 hours maybe, if your questions are super long. You want to make sure that you're hydrated. Your brain is only 2% of your body mass, 3% of your body mass, but uses 20% of your energy. And a lot of it, every system works on water. So be sure you're hydrated. Well fed is also part of that. And now let's do something. If you find the pen and paper, if you opened up something, a note for yourself, I want to ask you, what are you grateful for? And just before I started the webinar, I was doing push-ups, getting myself hyped up. Hannah came into the call, my heart opened up, and I was like, yes, I'm so grateful. And every morning I write this down too. And this is something you'll see as well, that gratitude, or getting yourself in a state of gratitude, remembering yourself, all the good things. We're not being bombed right now, yay! You have internet, you have water, all these things, they sound super silly, and some people are in like really bad situations, but you can only get out of a bad situation if you focus on what's good. Here on the right you see a little scale of consciousness, and this is all about like how you will create your best things, your top level logos, your best businesses, if you are in an elevated state of emotions. So take a moment for that, especially the people that are watching this back, watching the replay. You will understand things better if you pause the video right now and go and execute this. And another thing to really loosen up is a little dance break. I'm not going to be too rambunctious today. I have to hold my professionalism, but anyone that knows me in my personal life knows that I can throw it down. It's very good for you to be able to loosen up and let your body do the talking for you. And if you want to know more about this levels of consciousness, there's an author about this that you can look for. And I'll sprinkle little wizardly things throughout the webinar to get you really, really ready. Now, questions are the answer. Whenever you ask questions, that's when you learn. You engage and you make sure that you get the most out of it. Also, asking the right kind of questions is a big part of your life. Have you been asking the wrong questions, for example? Like, when shit happens, how is it the best thing that ever happened to me? Is it something that you kind of considered, something that you ever asked yourself? I remember I was super sick in 2017, got stuck in a hospital, and my whole outlook on life changed. I was a depressed student. I was feeling really like caught up in the day-to-day and having to perform and being someone different. All I wanted was to chill with a coconut on a tropical island. And when I got sick, a good friend of me asked me, how is this the best thing that ever happened? And these are the questions you have to ask to get further in life. And I knew that after I got better, I really wanted to make most of my life and live on my terms. So other things you can ask, practical questions. How should you even prompt AI? Are you even talking to the right audience? Is something like this business model even something for you? That's all of these questions that you have to ask yourself to get better, to get ahead. And the big part is, what are you missing? What are the gaps? So these are some powerful questions to ask yourself throughout the webinar. And now I want to ask you, what do Last LeBlanc, Crypto Stasher, Ross and Bendania have in common? All three of them are top class guys, dominating in their fields, in travel content, in crypto influencing, in e-commerce, in lifestyle. And they live very impressive lives on young ages, driving supercars. Well, if you don't know them yet, maybe look them up. And anytime these kinds of people that are aspiring, that have visions, that have dreams, even people that you don't know outside of the influencer world, company owners, CEOs, when they want to achieve something, they're always going to need technology, branding, sites, systems, someone to think with them strategically. And I'm so blessed to be one of the biggest people that people come to when it comes to these things, and being able to charge super high prices for that. But it wasn't always this way. Just a few years ago, I was a med school dropout. It's crazy to imagine. Hannah was with me on a call recently. She's like, yeah, it's really funny. The first time you hired me as a server in a cafe in Cape Town, you were doing everything yourself. And in the 2 years that she's been with me, everything went from off hands for me. We created the Web Life University. We grew so much as a company. We got offers for over €500,000 euros for the company. And I'm like, nah, it's not a million yet, we want to keep going. And that's exactly why I have this conviction, because the guy you see in front of you right now comes from a little addict, being very lost in life and not knowing what to do, pressured by family expectations, living the story of an immigrant family, being completely stuck. I started at one point, tried to build my business the hard way. That's why it took me 2 or 3 years to even get it really off the ground and be able to do good stuff. Fortunately, within a year I was independent, but it wasn't the business yet. I was just a freelancer working for people. I was working 16 hours a day, constantly pouring unsustainable effort. Despite all the hard work, I was getting absolutely nowhere. It was a fast rock to a complete burnout, and trust me, Hannah knows what it's been like for me. And then I got a big insight, because I've been following all this self-development stuff for a while. And here on the left, we see the common influencer, people that are too caught up in the day-to-day, how to look, when to look good, being a nerd is not popular, or I want to wear designer brands. These are all the traps that people fall in when they don't really have purpose, when they don't know where they're going, and they get dictated. I know some influencers, they have 1 or 2 million followers, but they make pasta coming out of a tube, and it's what are you doing, it gets views. It's nice for people to brain rot, but you're not really getting money out of it. You're not getting results or impact. And then you have the influencer. These are the people that are providing value. They are building systems. They are using and leveraging the new age of AI, of social media, of websites, of design, of everything moving towards a digital world to their advantage, making an impact, saving other people's lives, changing other people's lives. And that's also what we see. The game has changed. Alex Hormozi, Iman Gachi, Tai Lopez, these are all people that made millions and millions, but at the same time also made a big impact. And all of these are paying 20, 30, 40, 50K. Sometimes people can make up to 100K with these companies, with these influencers, with these people, without showing their face, because they are the TECH-WIZ that's behind them. And you don't need to be a coder anymore. So it used to be the old way. You code, you make websites. When I started, it was WordPress websites. It was complex, intimidating. It was a lot of clicking, a lot of time went by it. But now the new way, it's build anything without coding. Have beautiful designs, templates, everything ready for you. And leveraging AI from the get-go allows you to be very exact and very good. It's clean, it's intuitive, it feels right. And that's my promise today. I'm going to give a live demonstration on the 5-step framework that I use in my own agency. You'll see that, of course, in an hour I can't show everything, but this will be the core. This will be the foundation that you use to go from zero to a web design hero, a TECH-WIZ. You can have a simple idea, go through all the steps of the process, and make a client-ready website without writing a single line of code. And it's not just theory, it's just how I showed my students. And I'll show you some examples which you can look after this webinar as well. And every month, every week, I'm hoping to add new success stories of new tech wizards, of course. But it's a formula that has proven to work already. This is the tool stack that we're going to use. Notion is going to be the first step, the blueprint. It's where you get the idea from like, oh yeah, that would be nice and this would be nice, but where do I even start? To just simple thoughts, bullet points, and then you can work it out. By doing that in an organized system, which is the same for every kind of brand that you can set up, you will do so with ease. Then we're going to go into the AI step. We're going to supercharge our ideas and give something really important, which is context to the models. Sure, ChatGPT is nice, Gemini, Claude, there's so many different models, but they only work if they understand what you're talking about. And that's what we're going to do in the second step. Then we're gonna give it a visual identity. Figma is one of the best apps and it's heavily integrating with AI at the moment right now, which makes our full workflow completely compatible. And Figma is like the go-to tool for most industry designers. It's lightweight, it's fast, and all of these tools that I've named so far have free options that you can use and really create something wonderful with. And that's even what we're going to do in this live webinar, where we're going to show you like a simple site and a simple example to do it. And we might even do it with something you guys suggest if you just want to see how possible it is. That's where we make $1 million branding. Then I'll show you two incredible tools that if you combine them, they will make the complete TECH-WIZ flow like magic. And that's where the whiz comes from. I usually say the whiz was never in the tech, but when you see these tools, you're actually thinking like, wow, that's magic. Relume Library is one of the biggest libraries that allows you to create pre-built sections that are responsive. You can brand them very easily. And again, it's heavily integrated with AI. Then we have Webflow, which is the most robust, fastest, scalable, and easy to maintain website front-end builder and CMS. Another good one is Framer, but these two tools, if you compare them to each other, Webflow always has more technical capability or still has more technical capability. And this is also the tool that we choose because one step that's missing here is step 6 is the automations and backend, which I can't cover in this video, but the business model to, for example, make all of this up until that point is the one that is the easiest to show at this point, since automations are like super personalized. Okay, step 1, from chaos to clarity. For this, we're going to use Notion. If I just jump over to a new tab over here, I'll show you what my workflow looks like. Every morning, every evening, every day, we're just navigating through Notion. And this is Creative OS. It's a template with different databases that allows you to do everything. We have the journal, the habit tracker, the task list, the project management, the team tasks, the web life, or the website leads, and the clients. And all these systems can be expanded with more information to add. This is just the empty template. My own always looks like this. It's more personalized, and it's actually, you know, you've been doing all of this. You can maintain everything, all the projects, and you'll see that at any given moment we have like 13 projects active in different phases, and each of these have something really cool about them. One recent project is also a great example for what I'm going to show you in Figma, and we'll show you how all of these things come together. But if we make a new project, we always want to use a system, an organization that allows us to do it simply. We want to have an idea. So any one of you, if you have like a business that you want to build, we can do it. If there's a difficulty, I'm sure there isn't, but like we can show many different examples and just make a different version. Like for example, a real estate company or many of the clients like building a course, for example. I see some people typing, let's go. I'm going to pick Sheena's idea, an AI tutoring app. And of course, this is also going to show like how you go from chaos or like almost nothing to clarity. So clarity precedes mastery. This is super important. In order to get the idea super clear, we have to like really write about it. And in the project page, we're going to make a marketing plan. These are 7 universal questions. And mind you guys, anybody watching the review, replay, or anyone following this, you can get all these assets for free. I will show you in the end how to do it. So we're going to make an idea for an AI tutoring app. Now, if I would ask the chat back and forth, like, okay, what kind of AI tutoring app or whatever, it will be very difficult. So I'm going to make something that's actually useful. So sales tutoring, tutoring, the AI talks to you and you practice sales. Your coaches and community members can see your ranking and leader boards, and they will they can also review and give feedback on your calls, and you can actually track live sales too. So it's an AI tutoring app focused on having education and then also giving you the ability to talk to an AI, and it will help you improve your sales. So this is something that just, you know, out of the tips of my finger, with this one little sentence, we can add some features and stuff into it. And I know this is something that the industry actually wants. It's a Peter the Prospect kind of story, where if you could improve in sales without like too much effort or resources, how great would that be? So then we would talk about like, in which market are you? Sales, coaching, markets, and tech innovation. This will help us to define it. Let's make it a real thing, like focused on American teams like Alex Hormozy, Iman Gachi, and like all these other kind of gurus and guys, because that's what they kind of want. Yes.
Sorry to cut in, but you can share your screen, buddy.
I'm so sorry, guys. Thank you. Hannah always has this. Thank you so much. You messaged me probably, but I'm using the light right now. So, guys, apologies. Let's go through it. So, let's say an AI tutoring app, sales tutoring. The AI talks to you, and you can practice sales. Your coaching and community members can see your rankings and leaderboards, and they can also review and give feedback. So, I was showing Creative OS before. We created the project. And when we created the project, let's also now give it a name. But here's the funny thing, you don't need to make the name first. You first need to understand what the target audience is you're speaking to, so the name can be fitting, the colors can be fitting. And we're just writing down a few points. Let's do 3 for each question. Normally we really expand it, but since time is limited, of course, I'm going to show you all the steps, and I really want to get through it to do it the right way. Be as specific as possible. So, Tai Lopez, kind of people, Lopez, influencers, and the market is mainly English, with translations later available. But in this example, let's say available in any language, because it's AI anyway, and we can just make the branding inside. The company doesn't really exist. So what do the people have in common? They are coaches of salespeople. That's what they have in common. They want, those are the ones, so this is purely descriptive. They operate within online sales, so, or general sales, or any kind of sales. What they have in common? Almost every company has salespeople. I'm just realizing how broad this audience is. They love innovation and want a better performance. That's something they all have in common. Now, normally you keep triggering yourself. So what needs do the people have in your target audience? They want certain things. So better salespeople, higher performances, cutting costs of sales coaches. They also want something that's effective in coaching, hands off, but improves sales. That's kind of what they want, right? So what are the pains that they have? And this is kind of what I alluded to before. Right now it's maybe difficult to train people, always missing staff, or quality staff. These are really problems that they're facing. They tend to avoid their pains more. So losing sales, those are all the difficult things that they're facing. What fears do people have? That they will fall behind. And so really think about like who you're going to sell this to. The tutoring app is also for sales individual. They are sales individuals themselves. Consultants, coaches, but also people that, you know, stand in the market. They will never get better at it. It will take them a long time. And all of these give you the equation of how you can offer and position this app, this education platform, to solve their problems and to prevent that fear is ever going to happen. And what is the intended end result? Carefree and easy learning, no shame, no fear, no guilt in getting better. And these are the deeper layers, because salespeople often struggle or are expensive to train because you need someone to come in and bring their energy and make them believe in themselves. So believing in yourself, practicing and getting consistent with sales, sharing and community, all these things this app can offer as end results. But the deeper end result is more freedom, less calls, more money, more success. These are the end results that they're really looking for. And that's what you're going to position. Now, where's the gap? Other coaches are expensive. Sales is hard to do and time consuming. There are no practices. Like, you always have to have a sales call or you're gonna miss. What are your unique selling points? AI driven, 24/7 on and available. Helps you improve without a bias. It can literally look, have you applied everything? Have you not? So we went from a single prompt, from chaos to clarity. And now we can start feeding this, and I'm going to be very experimental. In the last few days, Gemini has really been improving, and it's the first time I'm actually going to use our AI live, because if we continue, we have now clarity. If we want to make this a full-on brand, a website, we need to go to the next step. We need to engineer our AI using context engineering to really understand what it is. And this is where some of the tools come in that we can't show you how to make, but you can definitely see how it works. Oh, I need to have a VPN on for ChatGPT in Thailand for some reason. So let me quickly connect. But we'll also show you Gemini. And what context engineering is a way to make your AI understand your company before you even do something with it. Why aren't we just going straight to like a lovable or bold? Sure, that's a nice trick, but it won't really make you a business. This, however, might. It most definitely will. Thank you. Let's connect to a country and use ChatGPT as well. Now, I've put both of these in here because the capabilities of ChatGPT are quite frankly further. The API is also the most powerful or well connected, and other companies are catching up pretty quick, especially with the new Nano Banana update. Gemini surpassed their competitor. I hope everybody can still see my screen and that the connection is still kind of good. Hannah, you can unmute yourself if anything else pops up, because I just can see my screen and nothing else at the moment. So we are making a new brand, and I give it all of the information that I just got from the marketing plan to give it the first context. Now there's more context in this gem, is what they called on Gemini and on ChatGPT. Let's go try to see if we can go into ChatGPT. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, we're still live, right? Okay, perfect. Something is definitely up. There we go. OpenAI. I think I got logged out for some reason, but we can get back into it. Are we live, guys? Let me know in the chat. I think the VPN might have messed something up. I want to make sure we're live. Let me quickly check. What's up? Yeah, we're live. Okay, awesome, cool. Yeah, I just want to make sure we're live, guys. If you're watching the replay, we'll probably cut this out. Nice, thank you, guys. Okay, so we've created a Gemini, and I wanted to show you, but here you can see it a little bit. If you give a lot of context about sales frameworks, about everything you need to know for your specific niche, for your specific, what you know that has worked, that's when you give it a good context and you can make really magic happen. So you leapfrog from the competition. We don't just use AI, we train it, you feed it the Notion blueprint, you feed it the brand style guide, and then it knows so much more and can do so much more. We create like a co-pilot for each project that is already layered on top of something else, which is the Web Life Genie, and now we recently created the Gemini Genie, and it does 80% of the strategic lifting. So this is called context engineering. So here we've given all the context. Now we can ask it like, write a brief summary of the company. This way you can see whether or not it's like leveled in the right way. And you can use it to create so many more things. Let's see, it's creating a custom gem. It's also showing its process. We have to rely on Gemini for today because I think ChatGPT isn't really working for me right now. I'm trying it one more time, but it seems to have an error or something. But luckily for me, I created the Web Life Genie here. And we want to make a name for this company. So suggest me a few company names and slogans for this tutor. Or for this app, we should rather say. And based on the marketing plan, having an understanding of who it is that you're actually talking to, it's going to measure and anchor itself to like, okay, an AI company should probably not be like pink unless it's trying to attract, you know, like like a very specific kind of crowd. I have to be careful what I say. Or like it shouldn't look like a children's site, for example. You want it to look techy, and I like a Replo, for example. It's a modern, short, memorable name from sales rep, Replo, and it's like replication or repetition. Replo, I like it. Sales Dojo, I like this too. This is maybe more telling. And if you have to add AI to it, it's like always a little silly to me. So I like really brands to be super strong. And you see it's a very interesting mix of what it does. But let's just go Sales Dojo, and we're gonna add AI to it because it's just gonna raise the value of this thing. So let's call it Sales Dojo AI or Replo. I think we can vote in the chat. We'll see what the people like. And this is what I like to do as well. Since we're live, guys, vote in the chat right now, Replo or Sales Dojo. Let me know if you're Replo. Hannah's picking Replo. I need 3-4 more votes before I continue. Let's go. Sales Dojo also getting votes. I think Replo is sounding really, really cool. So let's use Replo. We love Replo. Make a slogan, and this is kind of how we're going to map it out. Another thing that's really important is create the company values in bullet points for me, because based on the marketing plan we can actually make it have personality, and from that personality we're going to build the visual identity, and from that we can do everything else. So that's when you can communicate a market. It's modern, memorable, so practice, perfect, perform. More reps, more revenue. Sales sparring partner, the art of the rep. I think the first one is just perfect. And I love this one. So this is now when we're starting to have this co-pilot by our side that's going to have more and more context already built on top of what we have. And now every time we're going back and forth, making it a super genius on your brand. So Replo, we're creating our marketing plan. It's half written by me and it's very simple. I didn't even make it a crazy one. But it's already cooking. Replo, sales, AI, tutor. And I'll put this here just so within my projects I know what's going on. We can snazz it up a little bit. Let's make something like pretty dark or cool. I think I want to make it look like super modern, but we'll change this to like a phone, for example, and we'll just have simple branding for now as we're working this all out. In Gemini, we can also ask it to make a logo for us, and that's the cool thing that I haven't tried yet. But before we do that, we're going to give it even more context by jumping into Figma. Now, Figma is the second tool that I'm going to introduce in the Webflow. Step 3. Let's start to build $1 million brand style guide. This is going to be the basis. We're going to do a abridged version of the brand style guide because it's just something that you can make up, cook up quick, and then we'll refine it as we go. Later in the process, of course, I have to pack everything in a small container for you guys. But with our human and AI generated brief, we move to Figma. We forget spending weeks on branding. I'll show you how to create a professional brand style guide that makes clients feel like they're working with a top tier agency from day one. And I'll give you these templates as well, the Figma templates, the methods that I've been using, the formula. So it seamlessly integrates the brand designing with Figma. We generate comprehensive brand style guides and then achieve a professional, high quality visual aesthetic, enhancing client satisfaction. We do that by going into Figma. We'll create a new one, call it Replo. And I'd like to get some inspiration by going to, for example, Pinterest or any other place that is different. There's so many places where you can do it, but already like I see something, this is nice. Yep, let's do it. Let's put this on. I think the algorithm already knows kind of what my vibe is. And we can feed it these images, modern, sleek, kind of lucky that we see these things pop up as well, or it's like just the flow of the workflow. I like all of these, and I want to have like a nice creative R, maybe have some elements or ideas, and our co-pilot AI can even suggest. So we're picking out things that we're liking. Let's go sales AI or like AI tutor. Let's try to look for this and find some app designs, something that isn't too AI, something that is more creative. Let's see. I also maybe want to see like a girl talking to a phone, something like that. Maybe coaching websites or like online academy. Let's put an online academy or online app or tutoring app, something like this. And you'll find some inspiration. We'll see something here. Digital Wealth Academy. This could be a little bit of like the professional style, the launch. This is like looking like cool stuff. I like this as well. So we're using some phone mock-ups. We're giving it some ideas. We also want to have an idea of the people, the representatives, the kind of like this kind of style maybe. This is really cool. This cool, like more mature style, but also sales. Sales looks very salesy, sleek people, but it's pretty cool actually. It's all these influencers, so online entrepreneur. This is a salesperson. This guy is a salesperson. You can see this aesthetic, this vibe. You're gonna do it smarter. You're gonna work harder. You're going to be aesthetic. And we're building a little brand style guide. We're going to use this, leverage the AI to create branding that works with it. This is what it looks like. This is the kind of people that use our product. This is what we want. So in terms of colors, you can also think of like what kind of color palettes are nice. And I think blue and orange as accent colors or dark, blue, orange color palette, something luxury. And there's psychology behind this. I'll go in depth and explain this in the community, what you're choosing, how you're choosing it. This is a clean aesthetic. It also works well with all these other colors that are already in, mesh gradients, stuff like that. Let's now jump back into Gemini. We're going to give it a brand mood board, something like this that we've collected. And we're going to start having ideas of what the brand should look like. And there's a few fundamental things about the branding. In the free community in Web Life College, we're going over this as well. You'll know exactly the fundamentals, what you need to know on how to create something like this. And we'll use this brand style. We can literally make a screenshot, pop out. We can also make a PDF to have higher resolution. But this is the mood board. Let's see how the chat's going. Sales Dojo also had some votes. Let's go. We have Replo though. I love Replo. We want to make a nice and clean, slick vector logo with a abstract R. The app is marketed towards successful coaches and their communities to really master the craft of sales. We have a brand style guide, and now it's going to give me suggestions, ideas, but then we can also prompt it to make a logo for us. And while we do that, we can actually go in and decide a little bit on the colors that we want to do. So for that, I have to take these glasses off. I'm protecting my eyes for the night, but I just realized I'm giving a webinar. After this, I'm going to go to sleep, but it's important. And I see that I chose these colors without even like seeing the real colors. I didn't know Ridley was green, for example. That's incredible to know. Okay, so when we hop in, we can create colors by creating shapes. And using these simple shapes, we can make a nice little connection between them. I go for 6. I find that this is like a very beautiful balance of having brand colors. And I can take them from here, and I'll show you a nice trick as well. So I talked about accent colors. We can have one of these blues, one of these turquoise colors. We can have this, and we can start playing around with it to make it fit a nice, maybe dark turquoise aesthetic. We also want some blacks, and the blacks we can have from the same color by changing the hue. So here we can make this very dark, and this will be the aesthetic colors like this that we have. If we take another one, this is an off black, in the same hue, we can create like a dark grayish color. And then we need some contrast. We want to make sure it pops. We want to make sure that it has some nice things to offset it. And then we can go for like this orange color. This will also keep the app pretty fresh. The same orange color we can make like a darker version and a lighter version. Maybe, I really like these kind of peach colors here as well. Let's make it a little more towards the edges of this gradient. Oh. There we go. Yeah, that would be very nice. So we have these colors, and we also need lighter versions. Now I'm choosing to go back to this because I want the contrast in color really to be obvious. Oh wait, we can make a secondary for this. So the blue, I'll make this turquoise again. I'll make like a super light blue. And then for this one, when I have the same hue, would really make it pop. And then we have these two, we'll switch them over. So this is a nice clean color palette that I created with some of the inspiration that I got. The core idea, the ascending R, growth, the R repetition, built around the Replo name, active practice. I like this a lot. Visualizes the core mechanics of the app, repetition as a continuous perfecting loop. The dialogue R. Let's go for this Replo, this repetition. create an image prompt to create a black vector logo on a white background from this one. And then I'll just give it this. It's going to create the prompt for us. Now, why do I do that? Because we want to activate Nano Banana. It's going to go into a new chat, but this chat is going to be the knowledge base, our co-pilot. You can also rename your app to like Replo. So you have this conversation here. And when we go back, these should be set up so we can repeat them in here. Perfect. Now these colors are going to be referenced a lot. That's why you give them color codes and you make sure that they are named somewhere. And this is what we'll do in the brand style guide. Now we're going to just make an abridged version of the brand style guide, just with the logo, the colors and the fonts, to be able to create what we want in this make or in this Relume. But here's what a brand style guide looks like. When you spend time and effort to create a brand style guide, you can create something like this, where you identify the values, you have the typography, you have the colors like we just did, you have a logo, and you make sure the logo is usable in different sizes and formats. You make sure it's scalable. And you can use anything after this to create multiple more assets, brand assets, making all these different kinds of things just based on that brand style guide. So for Replo, we're doing the same here. We're replicating, we're building, and here is the prompt. If I go and activate, we can start creating a first logo. Now back in the day, you used to do a lot of this stuff manually. You used to go in, come up with crazy ideas. But it's more so like you're curating nowadays. And as this is creating, we make sure that all of our colors are good. And we can start creating a frame. We can start playing with these colors. We can also start looking for a font. Let's go for like a really clean font, Instrument Sans. I've never seen it before, but I just opened up the fonts. And yep. Looks good to me. Let's go. So we can make Instrument Sans the font for Replo. And you can see that if you use this, it's already making like a nice little clean thing. We love the air. We love to see it. Replo, we can even do something unique with it or make the R be the most important thing. And now we have a brand mark like this. I want to have it filled out. To be a more abstract, like in that. And now you can actually go and find our abstract brand mark, which is the language you would use to find it. So this one looks pretty cool. Let's check this out. And we can place this in Gemini. We can give it one context window, more. Now we can also go for something like this. This is also pretty cool. I like the idea of a loop being in an R. Maybe put like a loop in an R. Oh, this one looks really cool as well. Oh, this is cool. It's like a person running, like a ninja. I don't want it to get too abstract, but this I like. Really make a loop in the R and keep it in this filled out style. To be honest, this one isn't bad either because it's more soft, like, but I like it to be this dark aesthetic to make sure that it's super cool. So we have our font, we have our colors. We can add a little stroke here as well, so it's visible. We can manipulate these, make them different. We can make different kinds of shapes and make them part of the brand style guide that we want. We can put this all these colors again on here, and you can use them now repeatedly. You can use them here as well. And when you do repetitive work, you see like things really speed up, and you can make more use and make easier use of all the tools that you have, building easier and more flowing clients. And that's what you want. You want to make sure that your whole style guide is representative of the ideas that you want to embody. Now here I can place all the colors. I can place all the color codes on them. We don't really need it. It's just for reference later. One thing we do need is this logo. I don't know why it didn't create that image for me, but are you guys enjoying yourselves? Send me a little TECH-WIZ in the chat if you're still with me. If you're interested to see how this continues in the next few steps, I'll make sure that I'm using like good speed when we're going through this, but I want to show as much as possible in this. So let me know if you guys are down for it and how you're finding it so far before we move on to the next one. There we go. I like it, I like it. Let's take this for now. We'll use this R. I'm going to trace it with the image tracer tool to make this into a vector asset. And I'll place this vector, and now we can use it in our logo. We can even remove this, scale it up a little bit, and we'll have like this really cool R that's also at the same time the brand mark. We'll make it the same color, our off-white. And as we press auto layout, just adjusting its size a little bit, we have a really cool, sleek brand mark that we can just use. And now we can make different kinds and versions of it. We have our slogan, we have our clarity in the marketing plan. Let's go back into Notion. Oh, we have it here. That's true. So in the marketing plan, we created our slogan. Did I put it in already? Let's see. Make sure you save it somewhere. And we can place this now in the instrument. Practice, perfect, perform. We have this sales app logo almost complete. And I like this. It almost feels like Revolut a little bit, so. Making sure that it's where it should be. I don't know if I want to make this all caps. It kind of looks more professional if you do that. If you also increase its spacing, but then make it very small. So you have this like sleek effect. And you don't need to make it very tall, your logo. So the logo size also stays kind of consistent and the same. Also make sure that if you want to measure these distances, you measure them, but that's all like the exact kind of work that you do when you do a full stuff. So here I auto layout it, and I make sure it's all centered. And because I did that, I can see if the boxes line up. And using the scale tool, I now have like a very clean, perfect looking logo we can use in the continuation of this. So here we have Replo, the AI sales tutor, and this is going to be a platform, an app at the same time. We can make all these designs like I shown before, but we can also take this now and move on to the next step. So we've created the basic visual identity, and we can move on to step 4. Now, this is something new students haven't, like my current students haven't seen yet, using Make. And we'll go over a requirements document that you should always start in Gemini first. And then I'll show you the traditional way, or like the AI powered way with a lot more customization that I actually teach inside the community. But it's a little side step that I would love to show to you guys, because in Figma, we also have a tool called Figma Make. Now Figma Make helped me write using the tips model a landing page. So this is something that's inside my gem. This is something, a resource that we have at Web Life University for high converting landing pages. It stands for tempt, influence, persuade, and sell, which allows people to like ease into it and convert better. Landing page for the homepage of this app, and include some features. Oh wait, we don't need to say much more than that. Write a copy first. I want to see what it's going to cook up, because we only gave 3 points in the marketing plan. And then we're going to create a site from it in 2 ways. The first one is in Figma Make, which allows you to create sites super fast, get clarity, but the idea and ideation is actually almost always the same. I can also share this logo and this information, and you want to have clarity. Even if you use an abridged one, you can put fonts here, instrument science, and the AI sales tutor. So here we can put bold, and here we can put like regular, instrument sans regular, and you can paste it and match style so it doesn't change. And you give some clarity also when you go to the AI, like, hey, what is this? What are we doing? I also can put some copy in here with the basic explanation of what it is that we're doing, like we had up here. So stop practicing on live deals, super powerful, because it means people are trying to practice on live deals, but they're blowing the deals, right? So already we're having like a very cooked up sales copy, or at least I read one sentence and I'm already getting excited. But this is something we'll look at in a little bit. You always want to make sure that you stay structured and organized, and we have like here our summary. So Replo company values: pursuit of mastery, growth through psychological safety, performance is paramount, lead through technology. This is all the things that we want to make sure people understand about our company as we're going through it. And this marketing plan is looking pretty nice. So as our knowledge base is growing, this is also what the AI will continuously see and expand on. And that's why it's so important to start with all of the clarity first, because clarity creates that excellence that you're looking for. Now, granted, it helps, of course, that I have a lot of experience and I kind of know what I'm doing and doing it fast. But you can see live with your eyes. I didn't lie about it. You see everything, and this is how it's going. So we even putting this here, we can make like it pretty complete, and you know, add our brand mark in there. And we have now the Replo style guide. We have a very clear style guide. It would be even better to include the names of this, because if you show this, it's going to make the AI clearer, but also people that are going to see it. And that's when you take these color codes. These are super important to have the RGB color codes in there as well. So maybe I was trying to cut corners, but this is like an essential thing to do. So let's do it. You place all of these very sleekly, and you make sure that there's no errors. That's so important. You make sure that all of these are actually the right numbers, because these numbers are going to be seen and make the identity of your brand. We have this nice little turquoise and orange. We have this little faded, and normally I would give them really cute names like faded or done and dusted, like something creative. Let's see, there's a, yes, here it is. So, and now you also want to auto layout all of these in a little bit to make it easy and compatible, but here we go. That's it. So we have our brand style guide. Now, this is also something that we can copy over and we can take over to Make. Now, let's start with Make. What is Make? In Figma, we have a new option, a new system of creating websites, for example, or even apps with some functionality and backend. In general, you always want to still custom code. Complex, like systems are usually so complex that AI isn't there yet, but ignoring this would be silly because it's only going to get better. And the more you understand context engineering, the more you understand these tools, the better you'll be, of course. So we'll show various ways of doing it, but here we have our copywriting of the landing page. And again, you want to make sure you stay organized. So let's take this, put it on the landing page copy. And we have a nice little TIMS model that, and let's say I like this. So write a prompt for Figma Make to create this landing page. And it's so different than if we were to do in Make just the original message, right? Like AI app for tutoring. Like if we had put that in, we would have had a completely different effect or a completely different outcome probably. And we don't know the outcomes yet, but it's very funny maybe to see how it would compare. So let's go to the original, let's see, something for, here it was, an AI tutoring app, right? So let's take the original prompt, AI tutoring app, this idea, and make another Figma Make to compare it with, and then do it here as well. So let's make an AI tutoring app first. And like, how long did we spend? Like, we had a 10-minute intro, but we're going to see how it's going to cook up. So here, AI is now creating, just based on that little prompt, an AI tutoring app. Here we have Replo, like co-authored by us, by me, and we have a prompt. So create a responsive landing page for a high-tech sales agent. Replo, it's going to target it probably at the right people. I barely read it, but I'm pretty confident it's going to give maybe a more interesting approach. But the main difference is going to be that we're going to use our brand style guide over here. Here, minimalist inspired by the provided mood board and branding. And another thing we can do in this Replo file is we can create a new group and also copy this group. And this one we can also paste in our make agent, just like that. And brand style guide and logo. So we're giving it all of this information. We can have a checkup on our AI tutoring app while it's cooking. While both of these are cooking, I can move on to the step to show you guys how to build it or get it live. And a recent thing that we did is going through this process, we created like this website, DC Advisory. It's for a company that we are going to set up to be just a consulting company, and it doesn't really matter what's on the website as long as it knows that it's business consulting to get all the requirements, all the qualifications to be compliant. So we have a legitimate business information over here. The logo, we didn't even do the process that I showed you guys, making a custom logo. But as you can see, this could be just like any other website that it's fully responsive. And that's what we're building right now with Make. Now, another way to do it, and most of the websites that you see, is made with our very special WebLive Relume Library mix of making designs and adjusting them. So from design to functional blueprint in one click, most of the clients that we work with, the flexibility that we need, you're not going to always be able to prompt it in Make right now. It's too risky to do, and you need extendable systems and automations. And a beautiful design is useless without a solid structure. So this step-by-step wireframing used to take days of work. Now it takes seconds. And we can use Relume Library to instantly convert our designs into a complete site structure, and then have that be imported in Figma as well and start building from there. So what is Relume Library? It's this biggest library of assets and tools that you can use, all these different sections, the basis of them. And you can use them with all these different tools like Figma, Webflow. They are built and they are becoming like really top like deliverer of sections that you can use, and many of our sites use them as well. Actually, most of our sites use them. So you can see here the Webflow library and all the different sections that are already made, sections that have already been tested, already are responsive, and you can use all these different things from very complex menus to animated sections that you wouldn't be able to access otherwise. So here you can see a mega menu, you can add all kinds of things. And here this navbar 6, we actually implemented this for Victoria ID. So using something like something as simple as this, you can, if you apply the process and apply time, you can go to something like this. So here we have the menu, we press discover, and you can see it's a whole menu. There's animated icons. Oh, I was clicking too early. There's animated icons. You can see a hover over effect when you go over them, and you can read the articles. Like this is essentially the same as this, and the mechanisms behind it is also the same, but it just is styled and properly created the way you want it. Let's have a quick look at our Make site. So here's our AI tutoring app. That was just, so it made an app, not really something to sell it or a brand. It's called AI Tutor. I'm curious to see what Replo did. Wow, okay. Stop practicing on live deals. Replo is the AI-powered sparring partner. The gap between good and elite. Okay, it's kind of missing images for me, so add super sleek and aesthetic images. Now that would be, again, the silly thing to do, but what we want to do is go into Gemini and ask it like, write a prompt with an image description or profile for the images I showed on the mood board. Now the Gemini has more context. In Make, we only have the information that we gave about Replo and some of these assets that couldn't really quite understand or generate, but now we can continue prompting in Make and make more visual representation. But you can see the big difference, and just like how much understanding what you do and how you do it has an impact on the outcome that you get. So this is what we got in this version, and it's just an app, and here we're actually selling the app and we're giving some more information. It is missing a lot of images, and that's why we do the Relume process. And Relume also has all these cool features where you can generate the sitemap using AI. You can import all of it inside of your system and then do it. But for now, we should probably just take the library and take a very simple and easy approach where we can build each of these sections one by one in Relume. So Relume has all of these assets, and you can create a sitemap in Relume as well. And we can go to Gemini and ask for like, so master image profile, specific scene prompts. Okay, cool. Let's add this to Make, let's see what happens, and at the same time continue explaining this. So that's what I would want to say, but add images following these instructions. And we created a complete like profile for the kinds of images that we want. And of course, if you want to make a real company, a real legitimate business, you can prompt away a lot, but it is the best thing to just have full control over what it is that you do. So therefore we use Relume, and Relume has all these sections. Let's go to hero headers and maybe find something really sleek. And if you want to find something that's like really animated or something like that, you can look on the live site first, and you can check out all these different animated sections and see how they work and navigate. And then you can also get some ideas, or maybe you want to change them. So here you have filters, and you can press uncommon, for example, or you can turn on interactions. So now it's showing a bunch of like uncommon and animated sections, and you can take these and one by one just add them in there and make them really, really nice. So this one is uncommon as well. Let's see what it's about. So this is like a pretty cool section, header 1040. It's moving subtly the images to the sides, and that's very sleek. Could be nice. So we can have a laptop, we can have something like that, and you can just take these sections. But even if we want to keep it very simple and straightforward, you can make a very high quality website by simply selecting like meaningful sections. So we have the whole copy written out, and we can pick one by one sections. Now, in this case, I'll just make like 2 sections to keep it very short and brief and show how you can style them. And the cool thing is in Relume you can actually import your style guides pre-made. So if we create a new project, we're going a little over the time. Bro is whizzing. I'm getting questions like, are these themes you can use for Shopify? Yes, you can export it as a custom theme, and you can actually also build with it. Of course, having like a different website designer like Webflow will make it easier, because Shopify is more simple, and Shopify also has its own AI, for example. And send me a little tech quiz if you're curious to see how I would build those sections, or like the header and maybe a call to action section in Relume Library as well, so we can cover that too. And here we go. This is already cooking very heavily, and maybe we want to create some more images to just add ourselves. Unfortunately, in Make, you can't have the ability to now click and drag, or maybe, you know, do something different with it. It's not possible yet to bring it into Figma, or maybe we can, you know, it's really just a coded project that you have to prompt back and forth, back and forth. So it's more tedious, of course. But we have all the freedom here with Relume, where we can just like take a header 5, for example, and place this in here. I will also show you how to generate a sitemap. So let's get rid of a few of these. So we'll call this Replo. Replo. I don't even know how to say it. Replo or Replo. It's our brand, but like Replo I think is better, like replication. Yeah, that's the way to say it. Replo. And sales rep. Yeah, that must be it. Now we can also go back to our biggest context window, which is Gemini. Write a prompt for Relume Library to generate a sitemap for Replo. And again, the context window on these different sites are bigger or smaller depending on what they are. So let me free up some resources as well. Let me get rid of this too. So we just focus on Replo. Do I have anything else running that shouldn't be, like I can get rid of this, yeah? And we are going to use this context window to create a sitemap, get an idea for a wireframe, and we can also apply a style guide that we can directly put into a Relume Figma, and then everything will be pre-styled. The way to also do it is you can take the sections one by one from a clean thing like this. So we take a nav bar. Let's just keep it all super simple. So I'm using deliberately very simple sections because Relume Library isn't free. There's a membership that you can have access to everything, but all the sections that I'm using right now are completely free. You can use these sections from the Relume Library without a membership or having to pay for it. So this was a nice sidestep. Let's get rid of this and focus on how to do this flow. Now in Gemini, we've created a little, hopefully a little sitemap. And we can just give it a description. Hopefully it's going to not be too big for it. And we can create and generate a complete sitemap. So it's, oh, I have to relog. Let's see. There we go. Let's remove this. It says B2B SaaS. I don't know if this is, I think this is right, yeah, because the target audience, we aiming it at the sales people that have to decide whether or not they want to use this app. And that's also a smart thing. I think maybe it's too big, so let's say like make it more concise, or actually we can just go for like a home page and just use this. Perfect. So let's make the prompt a little smaller, and that's why custom making it is always better. Oh wait, it says I'm really not logged in. My apologies. Thank you guys. Thanks for letting me know, Hannah. There we go, let's get it cracking. Okay, so now we can send this. And it's going to generate the sitemap. Now the sitemap is basically how you want to build this project out. And this needs curating. You want to be in this tool, you want to make sure that your project and your product is representing what you want. Like, don't get lazy now because you see some AI. Like, good companies, good things, they take time and they take effort. And that's also why I'm not selling and showing these secrets, because sure, go ahead. You can try this and see if you can do it at the same speed or accuracy as I can. But if you practice and if you really apply yourself, you will be able to be super successful with it as well. So here we can see the sitemap is being generated. We also are getting a wireframe. And like I said, this process used to take ages. It really feels like magic because you just in front of your eyes, you see what's happening. Now, one thing that I don't know if it's already inside here is if you have like this back and forth. So if you could do it like in Gemini or in Gamma, for example, you have like this agent kind of mode. And the same is for Make. It's also a back and forth. But here you don't really have that. You just create this to get an idea. You can see all the different examples. Then you can change these headers and sections. You can shuffle them around if you want. Let's go back to header 26. And you will start getting a feel for all these different sections and know exactly how and when what to do. So an example of a recent Relume Library website that I created, this is fresh off my fingertips from yesterday, is this Dubai property reis. Let's see if it loads in. Let's free up some resources again. Yeah, Sheena wants to see how to publish the site. Let's go. So if you were talking about the Make version, you can go to the top right and press share. You'll have a live link already. Let's actually cover that a little bit as well. So like this is the Replo Make. And we can publish this by just pressing publish. And if you want to add a custom domain, you can go over to Namecheap. When you go over to Namecheap, you can buy a domain. And if you have, I don't even know if you need to have a paid Figma or not, but the DC advisory, I was just able to publish it on whatever, like without any issues. I didn't need to pay for hosting or anything like that. Dubai property, let's go to the site. Am I still live, guys? Let me know if I'm still live. Oh yeah, we must be live. So here we go. Here's the site already if you want to check it out. And then we can also add like a, how do you say, like a contact form to it by just saying like, add a contact form that sends emails to sayed@weblive.nl. So you can add functionality in it as well. And this will create a contact form. I don't know if it actually works with the email because I haven't tried it yet, but I assume it does because I know this, and here we can link a Supabase project, which is a backend basically. We're gonna give it a backend, we're gonna call it Replo. Supabase is a free tool that you can create. Database, password, I'll just give it like a password and then I can choose where to put the server as well. So this will be our backend and now it's already understanding and knowing like, hey, I want to save these things as well. So this URL is of course not too pretty, but like you saw DC advisory, you can just change it by buying a domain, changing the DNS settings, and you'll be good. something's up with the Dubai property, so I can't really show that example, but I can show you the Figma design of how we created using those Relume library sections, this complete website. And I also did a lot of automations in the backend. So it's a business trip for investors. It's an investor trip, and here you can see the same process. We take the sections, we change them one by one using the same rules that you have, and then you can go and paste them inside of Webflow by using Relume library. And so the design is obvious. You can see here to the left, it's section 5. Here it's also still section 5. We just added content in there using some of the features and auto layout, some of the functions. This layout 16, it's layout 16. Oh my God, what a surprise. But this is of course filled with the content, filled with the information that you want to show. So here also when you update, so we have to create a secret key in Superbase. Okay, so this is something we would also, this is getting a little too complicated for this tutorial, but it's just connecting it and making sure it works. However, if I look at the page itself, and if it has, like, let's say just create a form without anything behind it, it will just create the form and make everything ready to be connected. So you can connect it later if you want, but I just want to show how you could publish and change and update it as well. I'll share this in the chat so you guys can you know, play around with it and see how it works on your phone, for example. Let's see. YJet is whizzing with us. We love to hear this, guys. Thank you so much for all the interest in all these like little secrets and you know, spending your time, spending your energy. Think about the questions you wrote down as well and how far you want to take it. So here you guys go, there's the link. You can adjust the website by moving it side to side and actually seeing if it is working well and is responding well to what you need. Oops, that was highly sensitive information. Nobody saw that, hopefully. Here we would do the same thing. So we create all of these sections. Now, the final step in the flow is, of course, web design with Relume. So you have the largest pre-built library, AI generated sitemaps, and you can import everything using their plugin into Figma. And then step 5 is bringing it all to life with Webflow. And now here it becomes really, really easy. So let's design 2 sections and see how that process would look. Here we have the hero. We can use our copy that we pasted in here before, or we can use it from our Gemini and the landing page that we created. So always staying organized throughout the flow. Stop practicing on live deals. We can put this in, and let's add one more section. So let's have a call to action section, or like a, yeah, let's have a CTA section or a feature section. We can go as much as we want, but I just want to make 1 or 2 sections so you guys see the complete flow, the complete process, and you know how to repeat it after. I mean, at least you will have a good idea. So CTA 59 sounds good. Let's go for CTA 59. We put this in here in our Figma file, and now we have 2 sections. Let's also add a footer, and the footer we can find up here. There's many different footers we can use. Let's do this one. There's not a lot of links to show this, so we can have like even a smaller one, and then we paste it in here as well. Now this is going to be our wireframe. Of course, the copy can already be pre-filled. Wireframe, and now we are going to style it. We're going to style it en masse. Now the best way to do it, like I said before, is if you go here to style guide and you basically like apply or get this style guide from your project. So here we have the colors. We can add our colors if we want. So instruction sans, let's see. Oh, we have to skip this. I want to typography, it's on shuffle. I think I can adjust it somehow. No, that's a shuffle. Here we go. Skip font matching. Pick a style for this concept, sans serif. I think we needed to wait for this list to load. Yeah, there we go. I don't know if I can I skip this and just, yeah, there we go. We had to skip it. So inspection. What's the instruction sans? I think it's instruction sans. Or instrument sans, there we go. This is why we have a brand style guide. So we have instrument sans. We can select this. The 5 boxing wizards, perfect as well. Here we can choose the body text, and it's of course the same for us. And we can also put in the colors, the same colors that we have in our brand style guide. We will add the color, we can choose it from here, and this is why the codes are so important. So it's naming them automatically for us. Here you have the disco. And we change that to the one that we have. Oh, there we go. Meteor. Oh. And just like that, we're getting names for our fonts, and we can import all of this in one go into our file. Oh, this is the main. Let's put the main, I think, to this. That was for a screen. Let's make this our main. And let's put this then here. And we 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we're missing one, I think. Oh, that's this one. It was invisible. We didn't add a stroke here. Let's add a little stroke so we can see it. There we go. And we can add this black color as well, now making our branding complete. So we have black bean, we put everything in, and we see the buttons are also taking shape. We can change the buttons in, let's say, more of this. Sign up now is something we can add, or like main button, and this is like the bubble button. So we can choose different styles of button. Gradients is also nice. So we have now gradient buttons. The secondary button, we can adjust it as well. Like when you make it into the library, it can be very different. Cards and images, we can choose different styles, like outlined is not really what I want. Maybe flat is what I want, or outline is actually fine. So we can use this and set it all up and then press export. And then so you can import it into the Figma kit. Which is this one, and if I want to import it, so I'll just call this Replo. I use the plugin, and we use the save plugins. We go to redo. Oh, it's already here. You need to be logged in, and we'll sync everything up for you. We can select Replo. We set up all the style guides. What would you like to import? Let's go for the style guide, and we can take our first concept. Now, what this is going to do, it's going to take this plain white thing that we had and apply all of the brand styling onto it automatically to give us a base. So we don't need to change the fonts or anything like that. It's just going to apply all of it. So when we design and we build, we can easily adjust things, and it's already in the brand style guide that we decided on. And that's going to do it with all of these assets. So imagine all of those animated assets, you can already have them in the right font, in the right colors, and etc. So while it's doing this here, let's not waste any time. We used to do it like this, where you take everything, you detach the instance, and you start applying your copy and stuff. So we had the copy. We had it here. I can take all of this, put it in Figma, make it easy for me to fill it out. And then let's increase the size a little bit. Let's make it like a white color. Almost there, guys, final stretch. But I'll just show you how to do this. Stop practicing on live deals. and we would want to paste this in, match the style. And I used to use this plugin, this font replacer, where you can like in one go replace all of the fonts. So all of the Roboto regular, instrument sans, bold, replace, semi-bold, semi-bold, replace, and this one, bold, bold, replace. Oh, actually, these ones should have been regular, so I messed that one up, but it's fine because it's very little. So we can make this regular, and I think this was also regular. And you can just take a bigger portion, or you have to select the text elements here, and we just make them regular. Now you can also remove all the backgrounds. So these two have background sections, you can just remove them and add like one big color for the file. In the dark, or maybe in this color, or maybe we go for the white and we use like this off-white. You can already see a little difference as it's cooking up. For the images, we can maybe even use a image like this to just show this, and we can adjust it a little bit. The second one is the subheading that we had. And we want to maybe add that in the same style. And the logo, of course, we made our beautiful logo. We haven't even made like a simple version of it yet, but here would be the simple version without the slogan. Oh, here it is. You can go back. And this one you can actually outline it, flatten the image to make it like a real tight vector. And we can take this nav bar, unlink it, and paste the logo in, make it smaller, using this, like that, get rid of this, and maybe give us a nice little dark background to contrast with the site. And then we can also see the color of like the text, all of the colors like in this file. And in this nav bar. So the fill is one color, and then if you just change these other colors, it will flip open and you will see everything, and that's how it kind of works. So now that we have this Replo, oh, nice, okay, done. It's going to load everything in, and you'll see that it's a lot easier now. Almost out of memory, the memory usage. It was going crazy. It's going to like position everything, change a bunch of styles. And now you can see all of the images, all of the logos and the buttons that are already pre-made in a way that we want. So instead of being too difficult, we can just like take this nav bar and use that one if we wanted to, and we can even adjust this one to have the same styling that we want. But now you see everything is already changed. Sign up now. So the same goes for Webflow. So as we're doing this process, let's find a cool mesh gradient. You can also ask, create a cool mesh gradient background for my app. You can also go and find some like assets. So of course you will make these assets yourself, but I'll just use like a phone PNG app, something simple. So phone app, I'll see something nice and cool. Yeah, mockups are pretty nice. So yeah, maybe this could be our thing, and we can replace the whatever is on there. We can replace it as we are. Here in this column, I put it in the container, and now the container, it's set to vertical. I make it horizontal, and I set it in the middle. I make sure these corners are the way I want them to. And let's see if we have a nice image for create image. I'll paste this in. And we can also always go like gradient background, like whatever you want to fancy or yeah, anything that's cool. You can make one yourself as well in Figma itself. And maybe we can also use Replo in white. Maybe that's the way to go. I also see this R isn't fully aligned, so let's check if everything here is proper. And I think maybe, yeah, this P is, maybe you can do this. Yeah, this is maybe a little bit cooler. And I also want to increase the sizing just a tad bit, so I can make everything a little smaller and it still looks cool. And this container, you can adjust it a little bit so it outlines properly, looks proper. Now this can be reproduced in a white color as well. We can take this and make it the dark in this case, the fill here. And we can put that one up in the logo section in our new created, like already styled section. And the same goes for all these other, so we can choose which one we want. Maybe this one is better, and we're already cooking and whizzing it up. Here we see something, I don't know what this is. I wouldn't use it. I would rather go for something like this. Yeah, maybe just get a really good one from here. I think I can filter it by gradient background, dark horizontal. Just something cool to just fill it up for now and to have something in place there. Let's see, dark horizontal, blue, orange. Let's add something like this. Maybe this is really cool. Yeah, this could be it. It's loading, so it probably means it's like a bigger file as well. This one is also nice, probably. Yeah, bear with me as we are getting the right assets. Because this ain't it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Gemini. You've been a good guy so far, but we don't like that one. And here you can see if I make these sections and I finalize them, the second section, for example, would be the gap between good and elite practice. We can place this here, match the style. Also, the body here, Replo changes the game, so you can match this, and you can go as wild as you want with these sections. We can reuse and repeat buttons, so these actions are something we can just reuse as much as you want. And I think the sign up, of course, should be above. And because it's all auto layouts, it will just seamlessly integrate and make it easy for you to have it there. And you can play around and see what feels right. Let's see, it's inside content. And you can change these colors by just switching the color to the opposite. And the same goes for here. We have the color codes. We know what they are. So if you have the opacity, you can unlink it and you can also switch it to the same color codes. And this way you make like the opposite kind of button. Sign up now, see features. You can make your site like this. You have more control, you can see everything, you can do everything. And if you have the right kind of assets, which you can also create with AI, unfortunately it's again kind of like lagging. I had a really good one. Can we just get this one, please? There we go. You can save these images, and when you work organized, Replo BG, you usually put everything in clean folders. All my students are gonna flame me in the chat because they know I never do this, but for the sake of this webinar, for getting speed, we will do this. So here I have this background, boom, adding it in there as well, and just making it like look sleek. I can even like switch these around if I want. And I can add like maybe a call to action, since we already have this fully like all designed in the way we want it. We can add a contact us section, for example, add another image, maybe of the app or of something else. And we can create this website. We can make our Replo logo appear again in the bottom like this, and we will paste it in here. Boom. So you can see how this process is, how intuitive it is. Of course, it takes time. Like I said, great things take time. You can try to do the same with something like this. It will take, and you will never get it like exactly the way you want. But as you can see, like this proportion and dimensions are not quite where you want them to be. But it's a beautiful and fast way to create things, make MVPs, test things out. But this is the way where you want to do it, like really going in depth, making sure that you hit all the things that you want. And for example, giving this, for example, this opposite color, and then we can change the color scheme to white again. We have some other things. We can make it orange, and here also making them the opposite. There we go. And when you want to see this, you can actually press play. And you can check out your site. And now you see, stop practicing on live deals. Already it's starting to cook. It's starting to look very nice. The gap between good and elite is practice. Look at this guy. He's sitting there doing this. He's killing it. He's using the app. He's making a difference. And this is how we're going to market it. And of course, you need another good image here. So we can't make it complete. We can even add something like this in here, because why not, you know? And we make sure it has the same kind of style. So this is like 40 radius. We make it a 40 radius. And this is going to be how you can completely build out this website, completely build out, and let's put it back into this. And you'll see it's going to live update as you build it. Now this is not live yet, because we need to build it in the final step in Webflow. So if you go over to Webflow, you can basically repeat the steps that I've shown you. And we're just going to build one section and style it appropriately, because that way you can see that it's a repeatable process and all of it will come together. And from there on out, you can continue and add more things onto it. So we'll do that, and then I'll finish up the webinar. I could have known that it would take a little bit longer than planned, but obviously that's the whole point. So if you want to see how to make a live website from this custom-made clean design that we did, let me know in the chat right now, so I know that you're still with me. And if you need to go, if you need to rewatch, I honestly can know where you can do this. If you want to know how to find clients, how to sell one-on-one offer, you can actually watch the replay. So I'll do one thing in case, because so many people need to leave, I'll actually show you the rest of this. When you prepare it, you've seen enough already to know how to make these sites live. You can continue and making that whole design. Now you have the blueprint, but information alone isn't enough. Like most of you are seeing the way now, you see the path, but you don't know how to take it. So take a breath. That was a lot, yeah? You've seen my entire A to Z workflow. You have the map. You could absolutely try to piece this all together yourself. But let me ask the question. What happens when a client has a complex request that isn't in the playbook, that you didn't just see? You're not going to be able to answer them. When your AI gives you garbage, you know, when you don't know what to do or you have no idea where to go. Knowing the path is not the same as walking the path. And that's definitely something I want to stress to each and every one of you. The people watching the replay, the people live with me right now. The gap between knowledge and results is where people mostly get stuck. It's where they give up. They have the tools, but they lack the deep nuance experience. They don't have a community to ask help at 2 a.m. They don't have a mentor to guide them through the inevitable roadblocks. This gap is between you and your dreams dying. So what to do is, here are some results. Here are some of the students that actually followed the program, Web Live University 101. And all of these are on my YouTube. If you go to YouTube and you type in Web Live, you'll see. So Samuel went in his first month after the coaching to 8,000 in revenue just by applying the exact playbook you've seen. Talon was struggling before, 2 to 4K inconsistent months. And since the one-on-one coaching, this new method and his whole workflow changing, he's been making 10K consistent months. Ricky, the same thing. He had a WordPress site, he had all these different things, and now he's like rocking it. One of my students that's also really killing it because he's so dedicated, and you can see the quality and effect. This one is also really killing it in the game. And then several other students that you can check out and hear their stories and how it was for them. Now, that's why I also exactly built WebLife, because you can't do it with no hands or no brain, or there's so much requests coming to me. Like, even though we're collecting so much cash with the agency, we're constantly looking for ways to like scale it. And at the end of the day, you need people. And that's why I want to empower more people to know what to do and how to do it. And I've built WebLife University. So it's this complete program, and everything you will get will go over this complete flow, but slowed down, broken out. And the most important thing is that you will get the guarantee of paying clients. So you have just incredible amount of courses, 100+ hours, like even 200-300 plus if I add all the extra stuff, live sessions and stuff. You'll get that personal Creative OS Notion template system that you can use with this workflow. It has habits, journaling, project management, task management, everything is in there. We have this AI first approach. You'll get access to our AI gen tools with the WebLife genies and the prompts that we use. And you get also all of the tutorials with the different flows and everything else that you need to know on the back end. You'll get assembly coaching calls and live events. Recently, we also gave a live event in the Netherlands. And you get my eyes on the projects, ask me anything in a session like this. And you get personal one-on-one guidance. Time with me to follow the TECH-WIZ curriculum, take the time and understand how to apply all of this and achieve the results in months instead of years. You know, you will get guaranteed clients if you execute everything, or we will coach you for free. And nobody has ever filled this. Like, everybody that executed got their clients. Simply, if you don't execute, that's when you will not see it. Now, you also have the private TECH-WIZ community, and you'll see some of the people that are here as well enjoying a really nice knit group and always discussing the forefront and all the newest developments. And the biggest benefit is it will be lifetime. So anyone in the community is super happy because after 1 year, 2 years, they see how much we've built out the curriculum, how much we've done to increase and give more value, and they never needed to pay more. It's no membership, it's nothing like that. If you join, and you can see people are progressing days ago, but we have leaderboards, we have memberships, we have all the courses, we have all the different informations expanded in like the full thing. You get tested, you see sales and acquisition, you see marketing and branding. Oh, by the way, Hannah, you need to update this one because it says sales and acquisition and marketing and branding. Take notes, please. But this is what you will get in WebLife University. And you have two paths right now. You can take the hard way. You can take this information, go research the tools, find your own way and method, learn the skills, practice, and don't know how to do it, or not be held accountable, or put it on the shelf, put it away. Or you can do it the smart way, where you commit yourself to learning these skills, to seeing the path and actually walking it. And that's when you join the community. So in this community, I don't work with just anyone because you will fail if you don't apply yourself. That's why everybody has to go through a process. And the cost of inaction is far greater than the cost of a guided step. To be able to see this, understand that it works, but don't know how to work it or make it work for you, how to get clients, how to find people, it's not going to do a lot for your life. And this is where I want to invite everybody that's new to come and join the free community. So we have different tiers in the WebLife University. There's a self-study. There is the one-on-one coaching, of course, with the guarantee, which I can only give if you are in the one-on-one. Or you can have the full access to everything and do the self-study yourself. Like, some students have done it, like Mahmoud is working, for example, for big agencies or big people, big influencers with his agency, Webflow agency. You can read his and see his testimonial as well. But this is what it's all about. And if you haven't joined yet, you can press apply now and you will get access. You're already in the community. You see the webinar here on the left. If you want access to the Web Life College, the only thing you need to do is scan this QR code or just go to the website /start, weblifeuniversity.com/start, and you will be able to get access to the Web Life College. Some people have already finished it. I know Ryan is watching this video probably as a return, and he has already finished it and ready to rumble, because you will learn the most essential and powerful things, of course, inside the community. I hope this has really helped you guys, shown you the options, what's possible, and how much work and effort goes into it. I'm a really legitimate guy. I put effort into the things that I do. I don't sell golden mountains and then give you shit courses and a shitty mentor. Your qualification call will be with me personally. Your coaching and guidance will be with me personally. When you message me on WhatsApp, you'll have access to someone that's 24/7 in his agency and working and scaling $1 million companies. And that's the promise here, guys. So thank you so much for your attention, everybody that's still here. I really appreciate it. Okay, guys, I see there's a few more people. We can do a quick Q&A and then round it off. Thank you so much for the patience. So